Okay. Hello, my loves. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who are new, I am Hannah, and I'm here to help you step into your power and create a life that you love. I'm here to help you really free yourself and create success and happiness on your own terms. So, today we're going to be talking about why you may be struggling to get results and why maybe you feel like you're doing all the things but nothing's working, or why you feel like you've plateaued, or you're struggling to manifest. We're going to talk about why. It's one simple reason why, and I'm going to share with you different things you can incorporate, things you can change and start working on your own to start building that positive momentum forward. And of course, I'll let you know how I can help support you with that too, if that's something you're interested in receiving. And before we get started, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who've been supporting this channel. Thank you for all of you who've been liking the videos, sharing them out, subscribing. It's beautiful to watch this channel grow. I love reading your comments and connecting with you. I've been connecting with some of you over on Instagram too, which has been really fun and nice. And all the ways to connect with me more, it will be linked down in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Instagram, it'll be in my bio, the link in my bio, okay? So there's self-study courses, working with me one-on-one for free resources. There's the YouTube channel, there's the podcast, there's Patreon group, which is really awesome, like a low entry fee, kind of like a group coaching setting. So there are lots of ways you can connect with me. There's also my Etsy shop, so all that's down below. So you can check those out. All right, so let's dive in. Why are you not getting results? Why do you maybe feel like manifestation doesn't work, or maybe like you're broken and it just doesn't work for you, or you're the exception, or your situation, I just don't understand the details? Like, the ego will always make these excuses, and I know, because I stayed stuck for many, many years knowing these things and being really frustrated, wondering why it wasn't working. Well, the simple answer, that may be so simple it's really aggravating to you, but don't worry, I'm going to share with you how to shift this, is it's who you're being, right? It's not ultimately just about what you're doing. It's about who you're being, right? You can take all the right action steps, but if you are not matching up with that energy the rest of the time, you're gonna have this split energy, and that's actually what keeps you stuck. I've spoken on this before, so some of you, if you've been following me for a while, you're familiar with this term split energy. But basically it means, you want it on one hand, but then everything you're doing and being is saying the opposite. So, you're pulled in two different directions, therefore you're going nowhere, and actually very frustrated, spinning your wheels, using a lot of energy. So the way that you fix this, the easy answer is you come into alignment, right? You figure out, what do I really want? And you become the person who has that thing. You become who you need to be in order to receive those things, in order to hold all of your desires. So it's kind of like if you were, I've used this example before too, but I think it was a long time ago. It's kind of like if you were to have a fridge that's full of old, moldy food. It's disgusting. It's old. It's outdated. It's like poison at this point. You can't even eat any of it. And you're like, you go and you ask for all these beautiful new groceries and foods to be delivered, but you don't clean out your fridge. Like, where are you going to put them? You can't. There's no room. Like, you can get the thing, but you can't actually hold it, right? So this is another thing. Some of you may be manifesting but then not holding it, and this is why. Okay. And what happens if you try to like stuff some of the new stuff in, but it's just full of all the old stuff? Well, the old is going to start to poison the new stuff, right? So the answer is quite simple. You have to unpack the old stuff and then put in the new. Like, you have to die to your old way of being. Old ways won't open new doors, okay, my loves? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So I want to share with you, I believe it's a Cherokee parable story of sorts, and basically, you may have heard it before, but there's a grandfather who's talking with his grandson, and he's explaining how within us are two wolves. One is aligned with love, joy, abundance, peacefulness, all nice high vibrational things, right? And the other, the dark wolf, is aligned with fear, greed, selfishness, worry, anxiety, doubt, restriction, lack, right? All the things you don't want to feel. And so the grandson was a little concerned, thinking, oh, how do I contain all of that? How do we have all of that in us? And he said, and the grandfather started to explain that there's a battle going on between the two wolves. And so the grandson said, which one wins? And the grandfather responded, whichever one you feed. Okay, so my loves, what this little story shows us is that we contain it all. And this is something I've said many times. We have the ability to create whatever we want. We're actually so free that we can tune into the vibration of scarcity, fear, lack, not enough, unworthiness. We can be in those lower vibrational frequencies, or we can put our time and attention into tuning into the frequencies that we do want to experience, which are love, joy, peace, contentment, abundance, right? So really, when you're not manifesting what you want, it's a matter of alignment. It means that you're not fully aligning with it yet. So the work is always going to be to go in and see, who are you being? Where do you still have these old programs running on autopilot, likely, that are telling you you're not enough, that are still believing in lack and scarcity, that are acting out of fear, that are always doubting yourself, that's always doubting your goodness, right? Where are these programs running? Because if you don't see where they're running, how are you going to uproot them? But you need to uproot them in order to receive your desires, because I guarantee your desires, you don't desire more lack, you don't desire more fear and anxiety, right? You desire freedom and abundance and joy and love and happiness, right? So you need to align with that. You need to become it. Now, where a lot of people get stuck is because of what they've been believing, they have by default created a life that they don't like, right? You may feel very trapped by your circumstances. You may feel like nothing in my life is supporting where I want to go. But my loves, this is not a problem. Circumstances do not matter. And this is where you get to go in and be the alchemist of your life. You get to choose to put the blinders on and go within, right? You generate the feeling from within. You choose how you want to feel, how you want to vibrate. If you let the outside circumstances dictate how you feel, you will forever be a slave to your current circumstances. And if you are watching this video, I guarantee it's because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of your current circumstances. So at some point, you have to love yourself enough. You have to kind of jump off that proverbial cliff. You have to take that risk, that leap of faith, to try something new. And I promise you, each and every one of you has gold within you. You just haven't looked for it yet. You've been too caught up in the illusion of the 3D. You haven't been going within yet. Okay? So the secret is to go within. The secret is to choose joy anyway, to choose abundance anyway, to choose peace anyway. Knowing and trusting that where you put your energy is where you put your time and attention is where your energy flows. And that, just like planting a seed in a garden, it doesn't sprout up right away, right? But when you plant the seed and you nourish it, and that's the wolf you feed, eventually that one's going to win. Eventually that one's going to take over. And one more thing I'd like to mention in relation to the story of the two wolves is that if you were to go in and say, oh, I see it. I've been feeding this wolf that's, anger and resentment and bitterness and lack and not enough and unworthiness and anxiety. I need to starve it. And you're still focusing on that wolf, right? You're like, I hate this wolf. I need to make sure I don't give it any food. You're still tuning in to the wolf that you don't want to pay attention to, right? The best thing to do is to go in and focus on what you do want. So this is another reason why many people are stuck. They're too focused on their problems. They're too focused on what they think is wrong with them, instead of going in and filling up their cup with love, with peace, with abundance, and choosing to create that feeling from within. Okay, so it really always is an inner job. And I know that this sounds simple, but in practice it's not so simple. And the reason why is because we've been taught backwards. We've literally been taught to do this backwards. We've been taught to be in fear and anxiety and scarcity mindset, and to not trust in the goodness of life. And so many people cling on to what's making them miserable simply because it's familiar. So, if you would like support, this is where I come in, right? Because one reason why you may be stuck is because you're not seeing it, right? You're not seeing, where am I having these old stories on autopilot that are actually keeping me trapped in this shitty vibration that I don't want to be feeling, that's actually creating more of what I don't want. Another reason why you may like support, and guys, keep in mind, it could be with me or it could be with another coach. It doesn't have to be me. You know, if you resonate with me, I would love to chat and see if it would be a good fit for me to support you. But I think it's important that you just get support somewhere, somehow, if you're struggling with this, because this is the hard part, right? So trying to see where are you holding yourself back that you're not realizing? Where are you still playing into these old stories and feeding that wolf of fear that you don't want to be feeding? The other is to help hold you accountable, right? So how many times have you tried to change, and because you haven't really practiced the new vibration, you kind of don't have any faith in it yet, and so you just revert back to the old ways, or you find yourself spiraling, and you just spiral and spiral and spiral, and you see you're doing it, but you feel powerless to stop it. Okay, so the accountability aspect can be really helpful. And also just having someone hold this space for you and show you what's possible to help strengthen your faith and belief. And what I mean by this is, you don't need to hire a coach for this. You know, if you have friends who are very successful, who are living a kind of lifestyle that you want, spend more time around them. Or, you know, tune into the YouTube videos that are inspiring you. Just fill up your cup with the energy with people who are holding the energy that you want to experience, rather than trying to make these shifts but then hanging out with the same old people who just bring you back down to their level, right? Because those people aren't going to believe in your dreams, and whether or not you share your dreams with them, you're going to find their negative mindset creeping in. You're going to look around and say, can I really make this change? Can I really be this next level version of myself? Because you're going to look around and see the same old in your life and be reminded that, oh, well, this is who you've been all these years, and you're likely going to lose that momentum, that fire, that passion to really break through to the next level. And this is, quite frankly, guys, is why a lot of people stay stuck. It's not easy. It does take commitment. It doesn't need to be difficult, right? So I'm saying it's not easy. It doesn't need to be difficult. It's not easy in the sense that it takes discipline. I think self-discipline is one of the best forms of self-love, honestly. But it's not difficult in the sense of you have to go do all these things. It's more so like you have to just let go of all the things that you aren't. You have to just, you're the gatekeeper of your mind. You need to really pay attention to how are you feeling throughout your day? What decisions are you making? Like, what are you filling yourself up with? What are you putting before your eyes? What are you putting into your ears? What words are you speaking? What thoughts are you thinking? It's difficult in the sense that, like, it can be hard to break the pattern, but it's not hard work. It's really just being self-aware. And it's, in my opinion, the most rewarding work, because once you start, it gets easier and easier. You start building that momentum, and then you have more faith in the process and that this works, and you just start attracting better things because you're in a better frequency. Okay, I could go on and on because I love this work, clearly, guys. But yeah, that's the short and the long explanation of why you're not manifesting what you want. It's literally because you're not becoming an energetic match to it. You're not becoming the person who can receive that thing. So your work is always to go in and let go of all the things that are not in alignment with what you want. Your goal is to align with what you want, okay? All right, my love. So if this video was helpful, I would love it if you could please give it a thumbs up, and maybe let me know down in the comments what you thought about this, how it resonated for you. If you're not subscribed, I would love to invite you to join our High Vibe tribe here. We would love to have you. If you're interested in working with me, all the links for all the things will be down in the description box below or in the link in my bio. And with that, just have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.